Let's take a look at the Common Core website and particularly how to find the standards on the website. And so you can always get to the Common Core website by going to corestandards.org. And then once you're on the site, you click on the second tab here, the standards. And then on this page, you have math standards and the English language arts standards. So you can always also print these, but sometimes it's easier just to view them because they're so large. You would have to print a lot of pages. Sometimes it's a lot easier just to navigate and find them on the website. So let's start with the math standards. And in the left-hand column, you have an introduction, but then you have the standards divided into grade level, starting with kindergarten, and it goes all the way through the high school math classes. And so you choose the grade level that you want to teach. So let's just, for example, choose second grade. And there's an introduction, and then there's four large overarching domains of standards. And so let's just click on the first one, operations and algebraic thinking. And under this domain, there are four major standards, and they're all located here with the description. So like this first one, math content 2.0A.A.1, that's the standard, and this is what actually is taught under that standard. And then let's look, there's another one, fluently add and subtract within 20 using mental strategies. By the end of grade 2, know from memory all sums of two one-digit numbers. So basically this is giving you an overview of, in math, this is what second graders need to be able to do by the end of their second grade school year. So you would take these standards and use them to write learning objectives. For instance, this last one, use addition to find the total number of objects arranged in rectangular arrays with up to 5 rows and up to 5 columns. They also need to write an equation to express the total as a sum of equal add-ins. So very quickly, if I was going to turn this into an objective, I would say, given rectangular arrays with up to 5 rows and 5 columns, the student will identify the total number of objects arranged in the the total number of objects arranged in the rectangular arrays with 100% accuracy. So that's just one example of how to use these standards to give the students an objective of what they're going to do that day or that week. And then you can also click on, say, so starting in third grade, they're tested on these things with state tests, but that doesn't really affect how it looks. The grade levels, they look the same, the standards. It has the large domains listed at the top and then the specific standards underneath. And then back to the top, go back to the standards and we can take a look at the English language arts standards. Now this looks a little bit different. In math, it was divided up under the grade levels, but in English language arts, they do kindergarten through 12th grade, and then divided up into the anchor standards, then reading, writing, speaking, and listening language, so main topics for each one. And so let's say I want to teach writing, and then I can choose my grade level to a group of second graders. And now it looks more like the math did. It has the large domains at the top, but notice in English language arts, they're called strands or standards in the strand. But then the actual standards are divided up and look much the same as the math standards. So with guidance and support from adults and peers, focus on a topic and strengthen writing as needed by revising and editing. So that would be the standard. Or if you wanted to do a reading standard, so reading from informational text, you choose the grade level, we'll select 5th. And then again, you have all of the different standards for 5th graders. So let's take a look at this one. Draw on information from multiple print or digital sources, demonstrating the ability to locate an answer to a question quickly or to solve a problem efficiently. And so then you would take these big standards and write very specific objectives for what you want the student to do in class that day or how you're going to assess whether or not they've met this standard. But as far as the standards go, this is basically, you go to the Common Core website, corestandards.org, you click on the standards and then choose your math or English, whichever subject you're wanting to teach. In math, you then select a grade level and a topic. In English, you select a topic, then a grade level. So it's a little bit reversed there, but that's how you find the standards. One last thing I wanted to point out, in English Language Arts, you will see a section for grades 6 through 12, literacy and history, social studies, science, and technical subjects. This is important and it will be used. However, your social studies and science standards for the state of Tennessee still come from the Tennessee state website. These are not the science and social studies standards that you will use when planning a lesson for science and social studies. I just didn't want you to see that and think this is where those standards come from, because it's not. You only use the Core Standards website right now to find the standards for English and math.